Dear Renan, what would you say is a good and realistic improvement on the SAT? Well, first off, we got to separate those two because a good improvement and a realistic improvement are two different things. Let's start off with a good improvement. So a good improvement really just depends on your goals. And when it comes to SAT related goals, there's usually two bins that students have, right? So there's the colleges they want to go to and the scholarships they need to pay for those colleges. Once you know what school you want to apply to, then you're going to go online and type in the school's name followed by common data set. The common data set is a document that schools publish that basically gives you all the information you need regarding the SAT scores and also other things that they may look at in your application. Once you find the SAT scores, you need to focus in on the middle 50th percentile. You're going to see the 25th percentile and the 75th percentile. Your SAT score needs to fall between those for you to have a strong chance of getting accepted. Granted, the rest of your application is on point as well. So if you haven't done your research yet on the common data set of the schools that you want to go to, just to give you a ballpark idea, like Harvard, for example, you need your reading SAT score to be between a 730 and a 780, and your math SAT score to be between a 750 and an 800. If you wanted to get into a top public state school like UF, you'd ideally want your SAT score to be between a 1320 and a 1470. The other thing you're going to want to consider is the scholarships you'll need. As an example, here in Florida, we have the Florida Bright Futures. If you get a 1210 on your SAT, the Florida Bright Futures will cover 75% of tuition in all public Florida schools. If you get a 1340, it'll cover 100% of tuition in all public Florida schools. Now, a realistic improvement is going to depend on your specific situation and the time you're able to commit. You could have two people starting at a 450, but have completely different growth capacities. One person simply just forgot the math, right? Like they're in calculus, they forgot the algebra 1, they forgot the algebra 2, they forgot the geometry. They just need a refresher. The other student maybe never learned it at all. Maybe they had terrible teachers, right? That student who never learned it is going to need a lot more time to digest the material compared to the student who just needs a refresher. If they both put in the same amount of time, the student who just needed the refresher is way more likely to go up several hundred points compared to the student who needs to learn it fresh. You also need to consider how much time you have. Now, for our students, where we provide them the material, we give them the videos, we give them the instructions, outside of class time, they're putting in about an hour a day on average to improve between 100 to 150 points in about 10 to 12 weeks. Now, if you want to tackle this on your own, but you're not really sure how to create a plan, we've actually created a free guide on how to do that. Just comment below free guide and we'll send it over to you. Peace.